A letter sent yesterday to Governor Abbott included 40 Democrats and 3 Republicans who all serve in the Texas House. One of those Republicans is State Representative Wes Virdell. He's joining us now live to talk more about why he signed on to this letter. Representative, welcome back to our show. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
I want to begin by reading just a bit of the letter that you signed on to. So it ends with an appeal to Governor Abbott saying this, quote, "Therefore, we respectfully urge you to swiftly use every available avenue to call upon the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to immediately cease demolition and border barrier construction activities in Big Bend National Park." I'd like to hear more about why you feel this way. What are your objections to what's happening there?
Yeah, so it first came on to my radar all the way back at the beginning of the year. I actually think I was the first Texas legislator to say something publicly about this. And I actually went down there. I talked to a lot of the residents in Terlingua and Presidio and went through Big Bend National Park. And unanimously, everybody there says, please don't put a border wall in here. And there's been some confusion about whether they're going to put a border wall or a auto barrier or something like that. And we know that there's very low crossings in the Big Bend area. The terrain's very rough. I've talked to some of the law enforcement that deal with that. There's several Republican sheriffs, in the area too that are supporting this. And so ultimately, what I see happening is, unfortunately, a lot of my colleagues on the Republican side are being very quiet. I've talked to several of them. I believe several of them actually believe this is a bad idea also. Yet here we are with 40 Democrats and 3 Republicans signing on this letter. And to be honest with you, we're in a general election coming up that's going to be pretty tough. And if people are watching Republicans not stand up for them down in South Texas, I think we're going to lose the vote down there in the South.
You just touched on it there, but I really wanted to drill in on this. Why do you think other Republicans, not just in the Texas House, but really a part of the other state leadership, are not really speaking up about this in the ways that you are?
Yeah, I think the concern's been brought up to my attention, which is they're afraid that they're going to be called anti-border protection or pro-open border, which is not true at all. We do want a secure border, and we have the technology to do that without having to go in and destroy that amazing landscape. If you haven't been down there, or somebody hasn't been down there, just drive down there to see how amazing that place is, and then talk to your local law enforcement and say, hey, how many people are crossing here versus Laredo or El Paso or Del Rio, Eagle Pass, or anything like that? It's very low, and we are going to do permanent damage to an area that has remained pristine for, thousands to millions of years.
So are you really concerned for your own political benefit about potential pushback from those within your party about speaking out in this way?
No, so I have to live with myself after all this is over. My colleagues have to live with the decisions they make too. If they want to turn a blind eye to this and feel like they did something, I don't know. It's disappointing to watch that, and I'm not here to throw my colleagues under the bus, but I live in a district that's 76% Republican. I'm not too worried about losing in a general election, but I have a duty to stand up for Texas regardless of party politics. And this isn't a Republican versus Democrat issue, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I'm watching a lot of Republicans that are in office being quiet. And that goes back to all the Republicans I talk to that are just everyday normal people living their lives. I'll bring this conversation up to them, and they just say, we have no idea why they're pushing for a border. That makes no sense.
Well, we did reach out earlier today to Governor Abbott's office for comment about this particular letter. His press secretary sent along a statement saying this, quote, "Rugged, isolated areas like Big Bend are great opportunities to deploy technology to aid in securing the border." Now, he did not specifically address the request from you and your colleagues for the governor to get involved in this way, but I'm wondering, what part do you think the governor should play in this?
I can only speak as if I were governor, and if I had the platform to stand up to protect Big Bend, that's what I'd be doing right now. So I hope the governor will do the same. And we have a lot of people down there. Republicans won a lot of votes down in South Texas, and then I think we're going to lose a lot of that because right now down in the border, they're seeing the Democrats standing up for them, and they're not seeing the Republicans show up, stand up for them. And I think we need to really remember those people that live down there and that are going to be affected by this.
So you really feel that there could be political consequences for others within your party on this?
Unfortunately, I do, and I've tried to warn my colleagues that there could be consequences to not standing up for something that they know is wrong. And when you get more in the North Texas area, it's not really on their radar much either. But I do a lot of travel. I talk to a lot of folks at different events, and I always get the same feedback, which is thank you for being public about it and having the spine to stand up.
Well, that is State Representative Wes Virdell. Representative, thank you again for coming on our show and talking to us about this. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right. Coming up.